Hello, what's up, Kansas City? You're here with the Real with Tennille show, and I have a most special guest today. We are here with Lonnie Bush of Lonnie Bush Fitness. Is that correct?
Yep.
Awesome. I had the privilege of meeting her yesterday, and getting her book, Cancer Was My Blessing. This is definitely a must read. I said it was an eye-opening, life-changing tearjerker, and it should be on Oprah's Masterclass. Tell us a little bit about what prompted you to write this book.
I wrote Cancer Was My Blessing. I battled triple negative breast cancer in '09, and I was just very private at first. I just wrote everything down. Just wrote my good days. I wrote my bad days. I wrote my scared days. I just wrote everything down. I never had a clue that it was going to turn into a book. So I just was writing. And then at the end of it, the Lord said, you have a book. And I'm like, no, I'm not about to tell all these people my business. And then once I was obedient and I wrote this book, all doors started opening for me.
Now, have you always been into fitness and into health, being body conscious?
I've always been into fitness, whether it be going for walks, whether it be going to the gym. I am a firm believer that the Lord already have our goals and dreams in us. I had no clue that I would be a fitness trainer. I had no clue that I would open up my own gym. But years ago, I liked fitness, and I never knew that it was going to take me. But, the Lord has our steps planned out for us.
Tell us about when you first found out that you had cancer.
I was 39 years old. Never did a self-exam, There was no need to worry about it. No one in my family had cancer. Something just told me to do a self-exam. I had never done a self-exam before in my life. So I checked and I was like, well, what is that? I felt the knot. I told my doctor about it. He wasn't concerned about it. He's been my doctor for years. He knew I was active. Neither one of us was worried. There's no big deal. This is Lonnie. She's healthy. It don't run in her family. Let's just, so we went ahead and we had the lump removed, and they called me back in November the 9th, 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, and they told me that I had breast cancer, and everyone was baffled.
Was that devastating?
It was devastating, but when you first get the news, I think I was in shock. I heard them say it, but I really couldn't cry because I'm saying, he said I have cancer, but this is me. Cancer? No. Me? I was just in shock. And then because I wasn't informed or anything like that, the first thing you think is, I don't want to die. That's the first thing you think. So I actually think it took about 3 days to really sit in that I had cancer. Yeah.
A lot of people I noticed don't have a support system, but I noticed you had an amazing support system. You had friends, you had family, and you mentioned several of them in the book. Was it Little John, Bobo, Sean, your sister Tanya, and Greta?
You know the whole book.
I was like, wow. Because at first I was so devastated myself because I started thinking, well, I'm about that same age. Mm-hmm. What if this happens to me? But then I felt like, well, wow, at least I have a support system like you did. I have moms, aunties, uncles. Mm-hmm. I know it may not be easy, but it made me think of, and not even just having cancer, it just made me realize that, wow, anything that could possibly happen to me in life, that I have a support system. And it really made me want to appreciate the people in my life now before something happens and I really need to rely on them.
And they treated me no different. I mean, they didn't sit around and, no sympathy. I mean, they treated me no different. girl, you don't have nothing but cancer. Let's go.
And in the book, you are so real. I love how you talk about the day that your sister cut her hair, but you still had your dreads, and you was like, I don't think I would have been able to
wait. I'm gonna wait. And then that was probably the most devastating for me, as a woman, even though, I've never been a really, girly girl into makeup and stuff like that. But I did have really long dreads. And I think that was more devastating to me than them cutting the cancer from my breast. You know what I mean? That was more devastating for me, losing my hair. But now, I'm not the same person. As you see, my hair is still short, and I had cancer over 3 years ago. I go to the barber shop every Thursday because now is not important. And Lord forbid if I was to have to battle cancer again, my hair would be the least of my concerns because I just don't really care, about having short hair anymore. I never would go. I would see the women, they would just wear their hair bald, and I'd be like, oh, you're so brave. I never left the house without, my head uncovered. If certain people came over, I would run and tie my head up. Lord forbid if I have to battle again, I would be one of those women out like I'm bald. Because I'm not the same Lonnie I was.
Now, I think it is so awesome. Something that has birthed almost a ministry out of this is that you help women get head scarves, wigs. You help people pay for their co-pays for their cancer treatments. I just think that is so awesome. How did that come about?
When I was going through cancer, when you go through chemo, most of the time you have that same group of people. Because I would go to chemo every 3 weeks. So when it's my 3 weeks, it's somebody else 3 weeks. And then when you go to radiation, you go every day. So I went every day for 8 weeks. So you kind of build a bond with these people. And I was noticing some of these people wasn't showing up. And I'm like, where are you? You know what I mean?
Because this is a life-saving treatment.
Right.
Why are you not here?
And I found out they wasn't coming because they didn't have the money for their co-pays. And even though I had a really good job, those co-pays add up. You're seeing your doctor 2-3 times a week, and I have to give you $25. Mind you, I'm off of work on medical, so I was like, Lord, there's got to be something that I can do. So I first started out, if I had extra money and I had enough for my copay, that I would pay the next person's copay. And then I just started asking my friends. I have no problem asking people for anything because all they can tell me is no.
No, right.
I have a lady, she needs a ride. Can you take her to chemo? I have a lady, she don't have no groceries. She's going through such and such. Can you give me some? I will ask for these women, and I will go in my pocket before I tell these women no. I have never had to tell any of these women, no, I don't have it.
And that's nobody but God, because people get turned away every day from hospitals, their insurance company. That is so amazing. Now, there was a girl in this book, Karen. Tell us about Karen, because I thought it was so awesome that you were weak and going through your own battle, but that you took it upon yourself to meet with her, walk with her, pray with her, encourage her.
Right. Karen was my friend. We went through our battle together. Unfortunately, Karen didn't win her battle. She lost her battle. But just walking with her, talking with her, she was so headstrong. She was like, I know I got this. The Lord, He has me. And that's why I try to get these women to understand, you don't know how good you have it until you hear someone else's story. You know what I mean? And when I heard her story and how her cancer had moved and, it went to her brain, she never complained to me. Never ever complained to me. So Karen, she just don't know how big of inspiration she was to me, because half the time you think you're encouraging these women, but you're the one that's being encouraged.
Something that was really painful for me in reading the book was that you were going through all these life-changing events. You ended up being separated from your son. You didn't see him much during this time. You had a boyfriend, and he ended up leaving you. We think, or I think, that when you're going through something, that God is going to make everything all right. These people are going to change. The situation is going to change, when sometimes people just need to be removed. What was it like for you to be going through that and not knowing where your son was? Or would you like to share a little bit about that and what was going on with your boyfriend at the time?
Yeah, my son, I didn't know where he was. He didn't come home. I didn't hear from him, anything. It hurt me, but at the same time, I'm fighting for my life. And you read the book, toward the end of the book, one of my older sisters told my son it was his fault that I had cancer for stressing me. And if I died, it was his fault. So my son, I didn't know he was hurting.
And he didn't want to be around you because he felt like if you passed that it was his fault.
So he just left. Yeah.
And I think also a great thing about this book, Cancer Was My Blessing, is that a healing took place. There was a moment in there when I wanted to beat up your son, your sister, your boyfriend. A lot of beat downs was getting ready to go on. But you didn't give the beat down.
No.
Even with your boyfriend and being unfaithful and leaving, and he had the nerve to ask could he stay until he found somewhere else to go. Where did they do that at?
Right in my home, they did. and I let them. I let them. Because I'm figuring I'm fighting for my life. If that's what you want to do, you can do that. You're going to stay here an extra month. I'm not working. I'll take that extra month.
Right.
But I am a firm believer, as you read in the book. I'm like, the old Lonnie wouldn't have had this. She would have sold your tires off your car. Your
clothes would have been in the swimming pool with you.
Yeah, that's what I said. But I'm not the same Lonnie. You know what I mean? And everything happens for a reason. You can't take everyone where the Lord is trying to take you. If you hold on to somebody that is not going where you're going, you're hindering your progress. So he had to leave me because I wouldn't have left him. And the Lord's trying to bless me. And the Lord's not going to bless you when you're holding on to people that he don't want to bless. He shouldn't be taking part in my blessing that I'm getting right now.
Exactly. There is something that you said I think is so profound. You said, I'm not going to let the devil play in my sandbox.
Right.
Tell me, I just love that. It should be on a t-shirt.
It's just because you hold on to this. And that's why I tell everybody, cancer was my blessing. And I just want everybody to read it because you don't have to be battling cancer. But cancer is anything that you are allowing to grow. It could be anger. It could be insecurities. It could be you not forgiving somebody. Anything that you are letting grow in your spirit, that's cancer. And you need to get rid of it. You're never going to truly be happy holding on to something that the Lord don't want you holding on to. That could be a man. That could be a friend. You notice in the book, I had somebody I swore was my friend that I didn't even see when I was battling.
Because you prayed and said, Lord, I want your blessing. Those who are not for me, let them fall by the wayside.
And everybody that I prayed, I don't want people to pray that pray if you're not ready. Lord, whatever is not for me, remove it. I literally lost 2 or 3 people in 1 week.
And I prayed that prayer after I read the book. I really stopped right then and there and I prayed the prayer. But I said, Lord, give me the strength to handle these people falling off. Because it didn't take 6 months, 6 weeks. It was immediate that after you prayed that prayer, people fell off. And it was almost chaotic.
Yeah.
It was like I went from having all these people around to nobody, from feeling alone to really knowing I'm alone now. Because there was no phone calls. There was not that interaction. And you mentioned several times that it was just you and the Lord and you fell out on your knees and you just cried out. Do you still have those days now, even in being cancer free?
I do, because it's different now. Back then it was like, Lord, I need you. Lord, I'm kind of scared. Lord, but now it's, Lord, I thank you. Lord, I'm here. Lord, you gave me a second chance. Lord, it's a different kind. You know what I mean? I can be in the restroom. I can be walking. There is nothing like being given a second chance.
And you say that, I counted at least about 15 times in the book that you kept saying a second chance, a second chance. And we all know that God is a God of second chances. But the reality is, most people don't get a second chance from cancer. Did you feel like the weight of the world was on your shoulders, or that I have to be an example, I have to show people a better way because God literally allowed me to win a fight?
I mean, in my heart, I knew I was going to make it. In my heart, I knew I was going to make it. But I'm still a realistic person because at the end of the day, it's His will. I knew I was going to make it, but just in case I didn't, let me get this extra life insurance. Let me tell my sister where everything is. Let me tell my ex-husband that my daughter is to go with my sister. Don't. So I was still prepared. So in my own way, I said, Lord, I want to stay here, but at the end of the day, it's whatever you want.
I must still have my business in order
and I'm okay with whatever you decide.
Something else that I so enjoyed about the book, I'm telling you, you guys have to read this book because it was just honest. She was so, just bared her soul for us. You talked about moving the pills away from the dresser because the negative thoughts would come and the devil. And I thought that was so profound because I'm like, I haven't battled cancer, but I so know what it's like to battle the devil sending me these negative thoughts. Tell us about that.
Well, when you're battling cancer, before you even get your pain meds, they give you a prescription for depression. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to give you these if you're feeling like this, you know. So I had all these pills. I had the pain pills. I had the pills for depression. Then I had the pills to take in case I get nauseated. Then I had the pills I had to take before I did my chemo. Then I had the pills I had to take after. So I have all these pills on my dresser. You know what I mean? So some nights I would look at those pills and the devil would say, you should just take all those pills. You should just take them, you know, and get it over with. You know what I mean? So I took the pills and I put them in the hall. But now I know, he knew that after I was cancer free, I was going to talk. I was going to tell everybody.
You was going to vomit the goodness all over.
So he was trying to say, let me see if I can stop this right now.
Because I don't want this story to be told.
So cancer people, the name catches people because cancer was my blessing. How could cancer be your blessing? 85% of the things that I am and I do now is because I had cancer. I used to just be known as, that's Lonnie. Yeah, she works at Ford. She's a fitness trainer. Now that's Lonnie. She used to have cancer. She opened up her own gym. She wrote a book. She got DVDs. Did you know she worked out while she had cancer? Do you know she go to the cancer centers? Do you know that she give women rides to the hospital? She donates wig. You know anybody battling cancer? Send them to Lonnie. Cancer was my blessing.
And it has definitely been a ministry. Tell us a little bit about the fitness center, how that came about. But before that, I think it is so awesome that you said, Lord, if you will just let me train for 1 hour a day. If you'll just give me 1 hour.
1 hour a day. You know, and I noticed, you know, when people, they're battling, you know, they're sick. And they're, you know, in the first couple of weeks, I just kind of laid there, you know, well, I got cancer and this is what I'm supposed to do. You know, I'm supposed to lay here and people are supposed to come over. And they're supposed to see if I'm okay. And they're supposed to be
give
nice
me their
to
earrings.
Yeah, so I used that for a little while. You know, feel sorry for me. Give me whatever I asked for. And then I said, this is not me. Lord, if you just give me 1 hour a day. And that's why I try to tell cancer patients, yes, you're sick. Yes, you're not feeling good. Give yourself 15 minutes. You notice in my book, I started giving myself 15 minutes a day. I couldn't even walk on the treadmill for 10 minutes, on 10, 15. But if you could give you 15 minutes of the day, don't allow cancer to steal your whole day. If you get up for 5 minutes and kick your legs on the side of the bed, that was your 5 minutes. So I got up, I trained every day after I got my strength because me being in good physical health, no, it did not stop me from having to battle cancer. but I guarantee you it helped me with my fight with cancer.
Tell us about your studio. How did that come about? Were you laid off during that time when you decided to open up your own fitness studio?
Absolutely.
Who does that when you're laid off? You're looking for money and then you go open up a building.
Well, I was laid off. And that's what I took the layoff from my job. I was laid off, almost 2 years.
Wow.
And I was doing classes 3 different places. And so I was like, I'm gonna open my own gym. You know what I mean? And if the Lord sends you a vision, don't worry about it.
He'll make the provision.
He's gonna make a way. So I opened my own gym while I was laid off from my job, and I opened it up, and the clients just start coming. Just start coming. If you want to make the Lord laugh, tell him what your little bitty dream is. And then watch him laugh at you and give you something that you wasn't even asking for. I would have been happy with I was happy doing classes in my basement.
And at the community centers.
I was happy. But then the basement had too many people. And then the community centers had too many people. And then there's this. But I'm living the dream. Yeah, I got clients. Yeah, the Lord was like, your little dream means nothing to me.
And who is battling cancer and still has clients showing up? I mean, to me, I felt like, okay, Tennille, from this day forward, I'm going to be at Lonnie Bush Fitness Center. I'm going to get myself together, because there is no way that somebody can be going through everything you've gone through and still push forward. I mean, it's just, I still have asked the Lord mentally, where did she get that from? How did she do that? I said mustard seed faith, and I only got half a mustard seed, and you got an apple seed
You got
faith.
it. Yeah, you just haven't been pushed to use it yet. You're going to go backwards. You're just going to stand still, or you're going to move forward. There's no way around it.
Tell us what is next for Lonnie Bush.
Lonnie Bush, the Lord is opening up so many doors. I have my 3rd workout DVD coming out. I have my 2nd book coming out entitled Cancer Was Our Blessing, where I'm going to let other cancer patients tell their story.
Wow.
I'm not the only one with a story. People need, and then I have 4 women that's cancer free telling their story. And then I have 2 women's family that lost their battle that's going to tell their story. It's entitled Cancer Was Our Blessing. I have that coming out. I have a Total Body Expo that I'm putting on. This will be the biggest Total Body Expo.
I am so excited.
Yeah, that Kansas City has ever had. I'm going to have Terry Starks, which is known as the diet doctor, there. I'm going to have all the trainers there showcasing what they do. I'll have GNC there. I'll have the Steppers of KC there, because even though that's dancing, that's cardio. I just spoke the other day at a heart disease foundation.
And you look so amazing in them dresses. Can I just come in your closet and just pick out some stuff?
Yep, you could work out twice, and I let you get
it's on now. It's on now.
So I have that, and if I could just stress, I just want our people to get moving. You know what I mean? Heart disease is caused because you're not doing enough cardio. It can be dancing. It can be walking. It used to be 30 minutes. Now they've upped it to 45 minutes. 45 minutes of cardio.
But isn't that just 3 days a week?
At least 3 days a week.
And when we have 7, I think ladies and men, we can give ourselves 3 days.
3 days a week.
Now tell us exactly where this Total Body Expo is.
It's going to be at
the
Concord Multicultural Center. It's April the 27th. And it's from 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock. So from 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock, you could come questions and answers. They're going to have vendors there selling everything from shoes to earrings to just all sorts of vendors there. Healthy food ideals. You can taste healthy food. And then the last hour from 5 to 6 o'clock, it'll be a class a master class, because it'll not only be me, it'll be all my trainers. So you'll get to come out and train with all my trainers, and then I'll come out, I'll do the last one, and then we're going to teach the whole place. I'll be the first fitness trainer that has her own line dance. We're going to teach them the LBF line dance.
Wow, I am so excited. Do you have any last words for our guests? Any tips, famous quotes, last words? I just want to say that everybody needs to get this book. I really believe that Lonnie Bush will be on Oprah's master class, because this book is just that good. It's an eye-opener, and I think it's so awesome that you are so humble. I mean, I was so amazed when I met you, and I was like, oh my God, is she for real? Mm-hmm. And you are for real.
My prayer every night is, Lord, keep me humble. No matter how big I get, I want to stay humble. I don't ever want people to say, oh, Lonnie is, because if you're all up here, you stop people from approaching you.
Right.
You stop people from reaching out to you. You know what I mean? I don't ever want to be so big that I forget where I came from. I don't care how big I get. I'm going to be the one that's going to stop and say, well, girl, give me a hug. Here, you don't have enough tax for that? Here. I don't ever want to change who I am. I've changed as far as I have a closer relationship with the Lord. You know what I mean? But I'm never going to change to where that's just Lonnie. I'm just who I am. And if I can stress anything, I just want people to take care of the body, that the Lord has blessed you with. You don't have to wait till you get the glory to not have high blood pressure and, not try to, take care of your body. I mean, enjoy your body down here. Take care of it.
There's a line you say you can either fight to stay well or you can fight stress. You can't do both.
Your body's going to fight to stay well, or it's going to fight to stay stressed. Fight stress. It's not going to fight both of them. So that's why when I was battling, I loved my son. I did. But I prayed for him, asked the Lord to keep him safe. You know what I mean? Then when my guy left, Lord, keep me strong. You know what I mean? And all the while I'm sick, I still had to take care of my mom because she had a stroke. So I'm like, Lord, just keep me well enough to take care of her. And then when she passed, I was like, Lord, help me get my life together because I want to see that woman again.
And I don't think that a lot of people understand where that type of strength come from, that you can get a call that your mom is passed, that you go crawl in the bed with her at the hospital, kiss her, say your last words, and then go and do an aerobics class.
You can't do that in the natural.
Okay.
Because we're humans, we're emotional. No, we can't do that in the natural. We would fall out. My mom's gone. This guy that left me. My son. You can't do that in the natural. You know what I mean? That sort of peace, it only comes from God.
I just want to say, I'm a hugger. So we hugged yesterday. We're going to end on a hug. And I just want to thank Lonnie Bush for being with us today. I want everybody to get this book, Cancer Was My Blessing. I really want this to be on the New York Times bestseller list. And we can do it. And I also want to leave you with this. Remember, if you can't keep it real with yourself, you can't keep it real with Tennille. Thank you for watching and have a most awesome day. Thank you so much. Now, can you tell us where we can get the book, Cancer Was My Blessing, and your DVDs?
You can get Cancer Was My Blessing. You can either get it Amazon.com, and it's Cancer Was My Blessing, or you can go to my website, LonnieBushFitness.com, where all the DVDs is on there, along with the book.
Awesome. And remember, if you can't keep it real with yourself, you can't keep it real with Tennille. We'd like to thank you for watching, and until we meet again.
CMG wants you to always remember, the victory we call success goes to the best prepared. When you invest in your community, you're really just investing in yourself. Thanks.